Warning, there is a good chance Bitcoin Mike has no idea what he's talking about. Do your own research. Enjoy the show. Thank you.
All right, folks. We got Bitcoin on a little bit of a dump today. Overall market's down, stock market's down. Why is everything down? You know, in crypto, it can't just be volatility because honestly, the moves we're seeing right now in Bitcoin are what we see every week, every month, every bear market, every bull market. This is what Bitcoin does. You know, Bitcoin could drop right back down to $20,000 next month, and then we'll be right back up at 30,000 the next month. That's typical stuff for a bear market. You have to ignore the noise. That's what I always say. But everybody's trying to figure out why. And a lot of people are attributing it to the debt limit. Debt ceiling talks hit a snag, you know, the Democrats and the Republicans. They're trying to figure out, you know, if they're going to raise the debt ceiling. Republicans don't want to have increased spending, which totally makes sense. And the Democrats want to be able to raise the debt ceiling and just spend essentially till the dollar's devalued to nothing. I mean, in a nutshell, that's what they want to do. So the Republicans are holding strong. And the great thing is, if something happens and the debt ceiling doesn't get raised, the president always gets blamed. So Biden will be blamed. And he knows this, which is why I think they're probably going to come up with a deal to raise the debt ceiling. Is that why Bitcoin's dumping? I don't know. I mean, Bitcoin kind of follows the stock market lately, so stock markets are down supposedly over this, so you got Bitcoin down a little bit. No big deal to me. Gareth Soloway was on Kitco, my girlfriend here on Kitco, and look at these two. They're such a cute couple. But let's hear what Gareth Soloway has to say. As you guys know, Gareth Soloway is very bearish.
Always great to have you, Gareth. Of course, you are the chief market strategist in themoneystocks.com and president of VerifiedInvesting.com and a fan favorite on Kitco. So saw you, had to pull you in for a quick interview. So Gareth, while we're here in Miami speaking, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is in Washington, D.C. speaking and moving the markets with his comments. He was talking at a monetary conference there. And he said that the stress in the banking system could mean that the Fed would have less work to do, that they won't have to raise interest rates as high, otherwise to slow the economy because of the tightening credit in the banking system. Markets reacting to that. I'm going to read you his exact words here. Fed Chair Powell saying the financial stability tools to help calm conditions in the banking sector, developments there are contributing to tighter credit conditions and are likely to weigh on economic growth, hiring, and inflation. Was speaking on a panel for the monetary policy there. He also said, interestingly enough, that the Fed was committed to bringing inflation down to its 2% goal. Pretty consistent message from Powell there. And reiterated that point, saying failure to get inflation down would not only prolong the pain, but also increase ultimately the social costs of getting back price stability, causing even greater harm for family and businesses. So markets interpreting this as a sign that he's probably going to keep rates as they are, but not hike them that aggressively. What does the interpretation of Gareth Soloway involve?
So you're right. So his comments were he's on the pause path. I think for me, the market has already anticipated that. To me, the biggest comment that he made was that they will wait until inflation comes significantly lower before even thinking about lowering rates. So I think the market, this is where the mispriced market is for me, and why I remain bearish on the equity markets, is that the market has this understanding that as soon as he pauses, it's one step away from cutting rates. And I don't think that's the case. And again, Jerome Powell has said this till he's blue in the face, that he doesn't want to repeat the mistakes of Paul Volcker in the 80s, right? So to me, rates are not going down unless, like he said, unless we get inflation back in the bag. That's 2%, and I don't see that happening for at least.
Yeah, so that's another reason. So a lot of people are thinking that the Fed is done with raising interest rates, or at least they're going to pause. That's kind of what I've been thinking. I think they're going to at least pause. Maybe they'll have to come back later and raise again. Gareth Soloway thinks, no, they're probably going to just keep raising interest rates because they don't want to be stuck in a situation where they cut interest rates or stop with the interest rates and then everything comes back like a freight train. Gareth Soloway could be right. And if the Fed comes out next month and decides to raise interest rates, I think that's going to spook a lot of people, and you could see Bitcoin and the markets dump. That's why right now I'm like 50-50. Could Bitcoin go back down to $20,000 temporarily? Absolutely. It could absolutely happen, but we could also pump to $30,000 tomorrow. You know, we're in the same spot. I remember at 15,000, I was pretty much saying, yeah, we could go down to 10,000 or we could go right back up to 20,000. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm preparing for the halving and I'm preparing for the bull market. And thank God I did. I bought a ton of Bitcoin and Cardano and all sorts of cryptocurrencies when Bitcoin was at 15,000. We're at that same spot right now. Anything can happen next month with the Fed, but we all know this time next year we're going to be in a bull market, so who cares? Listening to Crypto Ran the Man banter, and he's basically laying out reasons for why Bitcoin's stuck in this range, why we're not pumping past $30,000, why we're not going past $28,000. And, you know, he makes some good points.
Actually in a bull market. So that is where we're at today. Now, what's causing this? Why can't we break up above this level over here? Why are we stuck at this level over here? I think I've narrowed it down to a few things. The first thing that I've narrowed it down to is to potential sellers in the market. So there is a seller in the market. There is an address, and this address owns 52,000 Bitcoin. 52,000 Bitcoin is a lot of money. It is 52, it's about, what is it, $1 billion? It's about $1 billion worth of, it's about 1.5, almost $2 billion. Now, in the last 2 weeks, this address, which you can see on-chain, if you actually dig on-chain here, and I'm not going to bore you with actually looking at the on-chain, this address has actually sold 20,000 Bitcoin, 2 times 10K transactions through Coinbase, and they still have another 32,000 to go. Now, this 32,000 Bitcoin effectively is another $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. And on top of that, you still have the Mt. Gox Bitcoin, and you still have the government Bitcoin that are going to be sold this year. Remember, both of those, the government has told us that they are selling this year. I think there was an announcement. I don't actually know if I have the announcement here, but the government has told us that they're going to be selling the Silk Road Bitcoin this year. And the Mt. Gox creditors, they have actually come out and said, look, we are selling this year. They said that we are going to start the distributions this year. So this overhang plus this current selling of Bitcoin in a market where there's no liquidity is keeping the price of Bitcoin down, and there's nothing we can do about it. That unfortunately, there is selling pressure, and we know there's going to continue to be selling pressure. We saw the selling pressure a long time ago. Second thing that is weighing on Bitcoin is the same thing that is actually weighing on the markets. But before I talk about things weighing on the markets, I do hear a lot of talk about bear market and how the markets aren't performing and how it's terrible in the markets and it's gloom and doom. But then the thing is, when I mute the noise from Twitter and then I go actually onto the markets and I look at the S&P, I do see that the S&P...
Anyway, not going to play the whole thing. He does make some points here. You know, when Rand's not shilling something, he does make points because he is a smart guy, but he's also kind of a used car salesman. Who knows what's going to happen, guys, but the question right now in everybody's mind is, are we in a bear market? And was this just a bear market rally that took us from 15,000 to 30,000 and now we're at 26,000? Or are we in a full-blown bull market right now? Lows are in and we're at 26,000 and we're just waiting to blast off. My question is, nobody knows the answer to that. But if you look at previous cycles, it is possible this was just a bear market rally. And we pumped from $15,000 to $30,000. Most likely the lows were in at 15,000. I could totally see a scenario where we go under $20,000, maybe 19,000, maybe 20,000. We hang out there for a while. Then we slowly make our way up. And I could see some of these altcoins, if that happens, going right back into capitulation mode. You know, a lot of these altcoins could dump 50% if that happens, and I'll totally be buying more. But like Rand says, you have to ignore the noise. We're pushing 9 months away from the Bitcoin halving, 9 or 10 months away. It's crazy. I can't believe it, but it's summer basically. My kids are going to be home for summer vacation starting next month. It's like, wow, like we are in summer. You got the Litecoin halving coming up, in 2 months, which brings me to this article. Expect whales to push the price of Litecoin in the coming months, which we're going to talk about that in a minute. Of course, I've been talking about Litecoin for a while. My thing is, what's the point of trading this? Like, who knows what's going to happen? We just know that this time next year, we're going to be in bull market, and then we're going to have a solid year of bull market. So, like we've been saying on this channel, the only thing you should really be doing is looking to buy cheap Bitcoin. If you can get Bitcoin under $20,000 again, God bless you. God bless you. Good for you. If it doesn't go under $20,000 again, you should have bought some at 15. You should have bought some at 20. If you don't have any Bitcoin right now, no Cardano, no Ethereum, no anything, yeah, buy now. By all means, I'd go 60, 70% right now and hold the other 30% if we dump lower. So it's basically the same thing we've been preaching on this channel. The only difference is now is we're so close to that Bitcoin halving, it's so irrelevant what Bitcoin does. You know, people get too caught up in the noise day to day. Bitcoin dropping below $20,000 again would mean your altcoins would mean BNB's probably at 200, 250. Cardano's back down to 25 cents. Pick your altcoin. Theta might go down to 60 cents. Like, pick your altcoin. Litecoin might go down to $70. Who knows? Although with the Litecoin halving coming up, probably not. It's just an opportunity. If you were to tell me this time last year, I'd say, okay, well, maybe like hold off, maybe trade a little bit. But there's no point in doing any of that right now. Unless you believe that cryptocurrency is over. Bitcoin's going to go to zero. It's done. It's over. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, then get out of the market. But if you're following these 4-year cycles, who cares what happens? You know, I could care less if Bitcoin drops under $20,000. I could care less if Cardano goes from 35 cents to 25 cents. I'll just buy more at 25 cents. I've already been at 25 cent Cardano. So it's fine. And it's very possible, just like what happened last crypto bear market, that we get a fake out, which we might be in right now, where we went bullish and then we dumped again. And then we went bullish after it flushed out all the dum-dums who will probably sell. Because you know if Bitcoin drops below $25,000, everybody's going to sell. So yeah, maybe we need one more flush out, or maybe we just hang out between $26,000 and $30,000 for the next 6 months, and then we go bullish. Nobody knows, but the thing you should be doing is just basically trying to buy cheap crypto. This whole debt ceiling thing, I do think that Biden's going to make a deal because he's going to get hurt. Like I said, if they don't make a deal, the president is going to feel it. But yeah, if they don't make a deal and it gets like delayed out and something along those lines happens, you're going to see all the markets dump. And that could bring Bitcoin under $20,000. And quite frankly, I just don't care. I don't even care anymore. It just doesn't matter to me. I mean, money you have in crypto should be money that you can afford to lose. Like, if I lost all my money that I have in crypto, I'd be really pissed off and it would really screw up my future investment strategy, but I'd still be okay. So that's where I'm at. And like I said, you do have that Litecoin halving coming up in a few months. And I do expect Litecoin to double by then, unless we're like in complete, absolute hell. You are going to see whales pushing up the price of Litecoin like they do every halving. And then they're going to dump on you probably the 2 days before the halving. And I'm going to be dumping my Litecoin 2 days before the halving as well. So we'll see what happens with that one. All right, guys. Bitcoin 26,362. All coins kind of getting a little bit hammered. And that's it. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.